Now, the President today called on Congress to up the ante. The American Jobs Act would invest $50 billion in our transportation infrastructure and $10 billion in a national infrastructure bank, putting hundreds of thousands of construction workers back on the job. But it's not just the construction workers, so certainly we want to get them back to work. It's all the architectural firms, all the engineering firms, all of the people who work at those firms who will help build out this infrastructure. It is all of the suppliers for all of the materials that will be needed to do this, and everybody who produces those supplies, and everybody who transports it, and everybody who installs it. So it is an enormous ripple effect in getting our people back to work. Hundreds of thousands waiting to work, working for America's future. Clearly, opposition to the Rebuild America Jobs Act is not about good governance, because we have ways, and we have offered ways, to pay for this fully. It's about politics. It's about playing political games, but it's playing political games with the lives and livelihoods of American families. Mr. President, while China is planning major investments in retooling for their new economy, we can't even seem to agree to fix our own roads. It's like the story of Nero fiddling while Rome burned, except American families and businesses are the ones that are going to get burned in this story. The President today released a report that highlights the importance of rebuilding our roads and bridges and railways and airports, and has cited important projects around the country. They include over 17,000 jobs in New Jersey that would be put to work, making our future brighter. One of the projects the President's report highlights as an example of successes in New Jersey is the Route 52 Causeway Bridge replacement between Summers Point and Ocean City in Atlantic and Cape May counties. This is a critical emergency evacuation route for Ocean City during floods and hurricanes. The new bridge eliminates the need to raise the drawbridge at the old section that is still being replaced. This is a critical $400 million project that is an investment in New Jersey, in our community, in our infrastructure that will upgrade an old bridge to meet today's needs, protect the community, and put people to work. We can make these investments and still find ways to responsibly reduce the deficit. An investment is not even just about new projects, of course. It is about maintaining the very infrastructure that we have already spent money on in the past that we need to preserve for future use. 36% of New Jersey's bridges are structurally deficient or functionally obsolete. 78% of New Jersey's major roads are listed in poor or Medicare condition. 64% of New Jersey highways are chronically congested because of a 29% increase in vehicle travel on New Jersey's highways from 1990 to 2007. All of that, and we already have $13 billion worth of maintenance projects on hold because we don't have the money to pay for them. Now, those are just numbers in one respect, but those numbers are about lives. Because when you have infrastructure, major roads, major highways that are in bad condition, it means that you are sitting more time in traffic and less time being productive at work or having more quality time with your family. It means that businesses that have a product that they need to get to the marketplace are going over an infrastructure that means it's more timely. It takes longer to get that product to market. It has consequences. It adds to the costs. It creates an uncompetitive set of circumstances. It's about the quality of our life and our economy at the same time. The $13 billion is not to add even any capacity to New Jersey's transportation system. It's just to keep the status quo. And as I've said for quite some time, as we have attempted to work with my colleague, Senator Lautenberg, to build a new Trans-Hudson passenger rail tunnel, which is critically needed in that region. And we've learned since September 11th that multiple modes of transportation are incredibly important so that, God forbid, we have a tragedy again. We learned on that day when all the bridges were closed and all the tunnels were closed that ferries brought people out of downtown Manhattan to New Jersey to ultimately be taken to hospitals. Multiple modes of transportation and options are critical for our economy. They're also critical for our security. And yet, we can't even keep up to date that which we have, much less create a new Trans-Hudson tunnel that would open up the entire region and the economic opportunities.